is a test of the emergency broadcast system.
All right, let me share this out.
You are now witnessing the Eddie Block and Joe Couple Show.
You can talk to people though. When they say something.
Couple on the side, ready, let's go. Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Yo, drunk uncle, drink more. We got 2 hours to chat like strange animals. Eddie Block and drunk uncle are great hosts, and we got 50 mods for the trolls. Let's roll. Yo, it's the Eddie Block Show. Drunk uncle on the side, ready, let's go.
Oh, it hurts right here.
Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Yo, drunk uncle, drink more. We got 2 hours to chat like strange animals. Eddie Block and drunk uncle are great hosts, and we got 50 miles for the trolls. Let's roll. Drunk and Eddie, Carol, keep him in check, along with John Wick and Steve Pence. Johnny Yuma, he got the right diet. Mr. Nice Guy, looking heavy, I might try it. Maddie, Courtney, and Evil Knievel. We all know the Lord is coming back for his people. Come get some Jay, yeah, train for Trump. We all love Willow Pie,
you.
got the plug. What's up to Kim Cole? I got to say hello to Julius Newman, Ringo Brothers, me Fato, Emily Graham. Got the
I don't think our invitations are going out anymore.
Deborah's head honcho, Gene Spratt and Gene Smith, don't confuse him. Boris might snap off, he's sick of this looting. Richard will pull up and give retribution. So Dawn, break of Dawn and the Susan. Solomon, following Patriot movements. Brianna, the truth, Muse might bruise him. Danny, Huddy, saying what's up on the daily now. No, we don't play around.
That's
These
weird.
minds
Somebody's
just might
here now,
let you
they're
out.
coming.
If you wild out, Carol will put you in time out. You can come test the chat and find out if you're Antifa or BLM, you can ride out. Yo, it's the Eddie Block Show. Drunk uncle on the side, ready, let's go. Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Yo, drunk
Almost
uncle,
done.
drink more. We got 2 hours to chat like strange animals. Eddie Block and drunk uncle are great hosts, and we got 50 mods for the trolls. Let's roll. What's up, Carla, Andy in Colorado, Nagasaki, Dara, Nicole. We all proud Americans, got rides a Harley. Ill MAGA sheepdog, I'm never sorry. Listen the future, Matt Rogers and AI. We all got bread to kill and we stay fly.
Yeah, nobody's talking yet.
are here. Yo, drunk uncle, slam another beer. Nordic, Teresa, and Josephine, all patriots, yeah, we know the team.
The heck is going on?
Diaz brothers keeping their eyes peeled. Biden sucks, yeah, we seen the steal. Lisa D
Why
and
is there
AJ
no-
Alexander, my love and my mini me, you my man, Vanilla P, DJ
There is
T,
everybody.
and Sugar, and Brownie, and Panda, and Rooster. Bree and Al from Idaho. Down to Dorothy, ain't no rhino.
Maybe we'll want to have to do a show. Nobody's here.
If I write another verse, Corey's paying me.
Oh, there we go.
Agent Marine, Offlet, David Aguilar.
Oh, is there a Trump rally?
Stars. Eden, Daisy, and Kelly. Titty 1, titty 2, it's time to rally. Yo, it's the Eddie Block Show.
Is there a Trump rally right now?
Couple on the
That's right,
side,
there
ready,
is, huh?
let's go. Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Yo, drunk uncle, drink more. We got 2 hours to
let's
chat like
see.
strange animals. Eddie Block and drunk uncle are great hosts, and we got 50 mods for the trolls. Let's roll. Yo, it's the Eddie Block
Like
Show.
something-
Drunk uncle on the side.
Guess we can show
ready,
that.
let's go. Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Yo, drunk uncle, drink more. We got 2 hours to
Although we
chat
might
like
get in
strange
trouble. I don't
animals.
know.
Eddie Block and drunk uncle are great hosts, and we got 50 miles for the trolls. Let's roll.
Shall we check out the Trump rally for a minute?
Gonna be the grand rally.
Hold on, let me go over here. Let's see.
Thing out of the amazing job. I don't know if you know that a week ago they put her in prison. And you know why? They made up some excuse about not revealing a source. Well, how about revealing the source that leaked the information from the Supreme Court? Why don't you do something with that person? They put her in prison because she wouldn't reveal, but they didn't put the reporter in prison. Who knows who that person is, right? You can find that very easily. The Supreme Court could find that very easily. I'm giving that information to the Supreme Court because I think the leaking
What's up, Aiden?
from the Supreme Court, first time it's ever happened, is just unbelievable.
Hold on,
But you get the information
hold on, I
very
can't
easily.
hear
You
you,
tell
Drunk.
the
Hold on.
reporter, who is it? And the reporter will either tell you or not.
What's
And
that?
if the reporter doesn't want to tell you,
You had audio crossfade like the song and
when the
I know, it's done
learns
now.
that he's going to be married in 2 days
I
to a certain
I was
person that's
saying,
extremely strong, tough,
Okay.
and mean, he will say, he or she, I think I'm going to give you the information. Here's the leaker. Get me the hell out of here.
he's the leaker,
Freedom-loving
not
Americans
me.
needs to understand
Not
the
you.
time to stand up to this growing left-wing tyranny is right now. If you want to save your rights and liberties, you have to start by dealing a humiliating rebuke to
I'm
the
gonna take a
radical
shot for
left in
Trump.
this election. This is so important, this election. J.D. Vance, his opponent is making me like I'm his best friend. I don't know this guy, but he's far left. He voted with
What happened?
Obama. I think he voted with Obama and with Biden 100% of the time. And now he's going out saying Trump is great. I agree with all his policies. I love Trump. I think Trump is wonderful. I don't know the gentleman. I can tell you this. He's not for us. He's a radical left lunatic who's now trying to jump on the bandwagon because that stuff failed so badly. But they're not going to stop. They're going to continue to go on with it. Tomorrow you have to crush the communists because that's what they are at the ballot box. For 6 straight years, the witch hunts, hoaxes, and abuses have been coming fast and furious. They are abuses and they are hoaxes. First, we learned they spied on my campaign. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if we spied on Barack Hussein Obama's campaign? It would be the death penalty. You get the death penalty, Uncle Sam, death penalty, right? They would reinstitute the death penalty. Trump spied on Obama. Can you imagine? We caught them spying on my campaign. Nothing happens. And then you have a guy like Bill Barr. He's so petrified of being impeached. He doesn't want to do it. Oh, sir, they're going to impeach me. I said, I got impeached twice. My poll numbers went up. What's the big deal? It's true. I told him that. But he didn't want to be impeached. He didn't want. No, sir, the election was beautiful. 2 months before, he was talking about how corrupt everything was with the election. The U.S. attorney from Pennsylvania, he wrote a letter saying Barr would not let him investigate Philadelphia, which was so corrupt. And the Philadelphia court, just ruled that it was corrupt. And they said it was all those ballots, hundreds of thousands of ballots were invalidated. But they said we won't talk about 2020. From now on, you can't do that. You know what that means? That means Mike Pence should have sent it back to the legislature. That's what that means. He should have done it. He's a good man. He's a good man, but he should have done it. He made a mistake. He had bad advice. Because we were right. We were right about that. Then they lied to Congress. They lied to the FISA court and created a fake dossier that wasn't good for me to go home that night and explain to the First Lady. That was not a good dossier. JD, you never want to have to do that. Never. That was not good. But she actually believed me. She said, I know that's not your thing. You know why? Because I'm a germ freak. She said, you're not. That's not your thing. That's not. But the fake dossier that was done and paid for by crooked Hillary Clinton, the Democrat National Committee, and the Democrat Party, they found that out later. This dossier that was this thick, it was paid for by crooked Hillary and the Democrats. And yet, after all of their lies and all of their corruption, these same people keep coming after me. They keep coming after Trump. Remember, first it was Russia, Russia, Russia. Then it was Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. Remember that, the perfect phone call?
Put it better.
And the Mueller witch hunt where the conclusion was no collusion.
What's up, Ultimate?
Think of that.
What's up, Mike
the
Jones?
conclusion was no collusion. Now, do you think Biden can say that? I don't think. Could you imagine if they gave him that? Even if it was on a teleprompter, I give him a 2% chance of getting that one done. And then they hit me with impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2, the censorship of the Biden family corruption story as Russian disinformation by the FBI. Remember when they went up to Facebook and they said that his laptop from hell, they call it the laptop from hell. Somebody named Miranda Devine wrote a great book, and she gives me credit for that. She said, I saw that name. You use that name. I'm so happy with my names. I love my names. But she said Laptop from Hell was so good that she used it on a book, and it was an incredible book, actually. And she's a fantastic reporter. But it was the Laptop from Hell, and they said it was Russia disinformation. No, it wasn't. It was from Hunter. Can you imagine the father? I'm not sure he understood it, but assuming he understood what was on that laptop. No, could you imagine? Don, if that ever happens to you, if you ever have a laptop like that, I swear, I'll never speak to you again. Okay? Eric, that includes you, just so you know.
There we go.
No, could you imagine, assuming he knew what the hell he was doing, could you imagine when he sees, oh my, have you seen what's in that the fake news, all those beautiful people, look at them, they're waiting for something. Look at them, that's a lot. Wow. But could you imagine, though, if we had an honest press where they would actually report what's on that laptop? That laptop is a disaster. And he left it with the repairman, and the repairman is waiting, trying to figure it. Then he opens it up one day, and he says, oh, my God, this is unbelievable. And it was just minor stuff is reported, but that thing is a disaster, and they get left alone. But everyone knew that the Russia disinformation wasn't true, and it made a 17-point difference in the polls, but we didn't need it. We had plenty of votes. We had more votes than any president, any sitting president ever. More votes by far. By far. We didn't need more votes. All we needed was honest vote counters, Uncle Sam. You know, the vote counter is more important than the candidate. I hate to tell you. I could take a great candidate like J.D. Vance, and I could take a great vote counter, some crook, some Democrat crook, radical left crazy man, and I'll bet on that guy every time. I hate to say it. You got to be careful. We have to strengthen up, and we have to go to all paper ballots very quickly. Same day voting, all paper ballots.
I'm voting in paper.
Voter ID, very simple. You know, in Pennsylvania, they just announced, here we go again, that it could take 3 or 4 days to come up with the vote. So we're going to be watching this election for maybe weeks. And the purpose of these machines was, one of them was speed, right? Well, in France, 36 million people, it was all done by 10 o'clock in the evening, and nobody was complaining. I mean, you had one person that was sad and one person that was happy, but there were no complaints. And you had all paper ballots, all same-day voting. This stuff with 48 days to vote. And then they take boxes of ballots and they put them here, and they take a wheelbarrow full, they put it there. You got some, nobody knows what's going on. Why are they moving all those ballots? Why are they going? This is the most corrupt system. And that's why we have to have not a Bill Barr that's afraid to act. You need people that are really tough and really smart and that love our country and don't care. They love our country. You got to solve this problem. But one way you can help is by just swamping them with good votes. And that's what we have to do, JD. We have to get out there and swamp them with the votes, because that gets harder. The more you get, the harder it is. You know, it's sort of a simple formula. And then it was the January 6th Unselect Committee. I love that term. I never got credit for that term. You know, they go over it like it's nothing. I say that term. I give it to the biggest reporters, the Unselect Committee. They never correct me. They say, this guy's impossible. But I love the term. I think it's one of the best, the Unselect Committee of political hacks and thugs. And they have just appalling misconduct on that committee. And the two things they won't discuss on that committee are the fact that Nancy Pelosi is in charge of Capitol security. And we recommended from 10 to 20,000 soldiers be there, because we knew it was going to be a lot of people coming.
You can't even watch your own house.
Everybody I spoke to, I'm going to be there on January 6th. I said, a lot of people are going to be there. All I did was make a speech, right? Peacefully and patriotically.
What's up, David Workman?
I said, peacefully and patriotically. And they say, oh, that's so terrible. You ever hear Maxine Waters' speeches? You ever hear some of these? You ever hear Schumer's speech in front of the Supreme Court? That he should have been in trouble for that speech. And I told our Attorney General, you should look at that. If a mobster made that speech, they would have been put in jail for 10 years for what Schumer said in front of the courthouse. And he knows it's right. I pressed it very hard. I said, what he said is terrible. But the appalling misconduct is taking place now by the racist, incompetent New York State Attorney General, Letitia Peekaboo James. She's terrible. who is presiding over record numbers of murders, rapes, drug deals, and every other form of crime. She's horrible. She doesn't give a damn about New York. New York's going to hell. In our once great New York State, but only spends her time going after political opponents. That's all she cares about. She wants to go after political opponents. She ran for governor. She got so little vote. She ran for 5 weeks and she got out. She didn't even register in the polls. But yet she said, I'm going back to the Attorney General position. You know, she left the Attorney General position to run for governor. She failed, and then she went back. Just last week, at her request, a radical left lunatic judge named Engoron, Democrat, big radical left Democrat, truly hates me. An arrogant, out-of-control, Trump-hating maniac who is totally dominated by my worst enemies in the Democrat Party. This is a judge that's dominated. This is a guy that's going to make a decision on me and those boys and my family, and hates Trump beyond anything you... I don't know him, never met him. But he actually said in court that, quote, he's just a bad guy, Trump. He's a bad guy. I never met the gentleman. I know nothing about him. I created thousands and thousands of jobs, built an unbelievable country. The company that I built is unbelievable. Very little debt, unbelievable assets.
Very little debt to him
it's
is
great.
like huge debt to us.
And I got this guy looking, and I don't get a jury. I don't even get a jury. I said, I want jury. No. This guy's supposed, it's a corrupt system. New York is a very corrupt judicial system, and they better get it straightened out because businesses are leaving New York because of things like this.
California.
But they started a process of unconstitutional property confiscation, very much akin to Venezuela, Cuba, or the old Soviet Union. This case was supposed to be in front of another judge with experience, but New York State court system doesn't do that because it's corrupt. It's a corrupt system. It really is. You have a much better system in Ohio. I don't know who the hell's in charge of it, but they've done a much better job. But they should take this Engoron off the case and put somebody that can be fair. You can't have impartial. You can't have judges that are totally partial. They have, they have their hatreds. This is a Trump hater. You can't do that. So I'm being judged by this political never-Trumper, and I'm not even allowed, think of it, I'm not allowed to have a jury. This is the beginning of communism. Likewise, a local left-wing DA in Atlanta is after me for an absolutely perfect phone call about election integrity, even while Atlanta has among the highest murder rates per capita of any city in the country.
I thought they do have the highest.
They actually are higher than per capita, worse than Chicago, which is a disaster. And all of these local Democrat-run cases are being directed by Washington, D.C. It's part of the witch hunt. I've gone on the largest witch hunt in history. I have gone through the largest witch hunt in the history of our country, and it's a disgrace. And, a friend of mine, very smart guy, came up to me. He said, you've been going through this for 6.5 years. You have to be the most honest person. It's true. Can you imagine 11 million pages of documents they've examined, and they got nothing? They have one person that they're torturing. Think of this, about
What's that, Digga?
a company-owned car, didn't pay tax on a company-owned car, didn't pay tax on a company-owned apartment. They're called fringe benefits. Didn't report that I paid the education for his grandchildren. A very good man, 75 years old. They're torturing him because they want him to say anything bad about Trump. Say something bad. They put him in handcuffs. A friend of mine owns a big accounting firm. He said, there's never been a case like this before. They have persecuted this man in order for him to say something. And then ultimately they offer him a deal. You go to jail for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, or you go to jail for many years. He said, I have to say, this is what, think of what they did. Anybody out here would probably take a deal like that. I wouldn't, I'll be honest, I wouldn't. But they torture, and this is what they used to do and do currently in communist countries, and that's where we're going. That's where we're going. Think of it. Handcuffs, walked in front a man that never heard of jail before, a man that never had a problem with anything before, handcuffs, and they perk walked him in front of the press in handcuffs, and nobody has ever been criminally charged in this country, from what we understand, on a fringe benefit case. A company-owned car, think of that, didn't pay tax on a company-owned car, a company-owned apartment. And they say that very few people do. How many people, I wonder, how many people here have a company-owned car? Anybody have a company? Do you pay tax, sir? You know what? Cover your face, please. Do you pay tax?
Cover your face.
Uncle Sam, do you have a company-owned car, please? I guarantee even Uncle Sam probably doesn't pay tax, you know. But it's a shame. It's a shame. When I see what's going on, it's a shame. Our country is really going to hell. We have a weaponized Department of Justice and a weaponized FBI, including, of course, the raid of Mar-a-Lago in the document hoax case, totally violating my Fourth Amendment rights, and no president has ever been treated this way. Clinton, you know, the sock case, he had things in his socks. Nothing happened to him except a great verdict. He's got a great verdict. We go by that verdict, the socks verdict. But no, he had it in his socks. You know that, right? And others took many, many documents. They take them out of the White House. They took documents. I'm the only one that can't take anything. But maybe our country would be better off if I actually had the nuclear codes, JD, because our enemies would be afraid, unlike the way they are now. If I had the nuclear codes, Bill Clinton, don't forget, he lost the nuclear codes twice. How do you explain that to the military? I've lost the military codes. What do you? He lost the military codes twice. I didn't. They're coming after me because I'm fighting for you. That's all it is. And if I wasn't leading in all these polls, I don't know, if you find those poll numbers, you could put them up. If you find them back there, you geniuses that do this stuff, put them up. Let me know when they're up. We'll talk about them. But we have poll numbers that are through the roof, and so do Republicans. This is going to be a wave. I think this is going to be a very big wave. I hope so. I agree. Starting right here. The radical left thinks by doing all these wicked and venomous things, they are making us weaker, but actually,
you should have gone.
They are making us much, much stronger and more unified. That's what's happening. I believe, just like these rallies are bigger than they were before the election. Oh, there they are. Look, poll numbers. Okay, first one, support 86. That's good. But look at the strong support.
I didn't think about that, Charles.
Strong support. 64, right? My eyes are okay. Not great, but they're okay. Somewhat so. So look at those numbers. Okay, next slide. Go ahead. These guys are amazing. I didn't even know we'd be doing this. Look. Now there's the...
Trump, 71%. Trump, 71%. DeSantis, 10. Pence, set. How is Pence at 7%? I don't understand that
All right, so it's Trump, 71. Ron DeSantis, 10.
Real quick, guys, if
Mike Pence...
If they start having
7.
rallies again, anyone that's within like a state or two from California, I'm going to start going to.
It has to be an incorrect poll. You know why? There's no way Cheney gets 4%. I don't believe.
How does Pence get 7%?
What a stiff. What a stiff. Wyoming did a great job. They got her out. The biggest defeat in the history of a congressperson. Nobody's ever lost by 40%. Nobody's ever lost by 40%. She did. So anyway, no, good people up there. They're all good people. Tim Scott is a great person. There are a lot of good people. Okay, what's the next one? Let's go. Do this fast. You all having a good time? Is there any time better than a Trump rally? Are you having a good time?
Hell no, the Trump rallies are amazing.
Huh? I'm sure as hell a lot of you. I wish someday the camera's going to show that. Oh, they will. If someday we have 200 people, they'll show that. But they never show it these crowds because they're fake. And they're dishonest, and they are truly the enemy of the people. I hate to say it, and they shouldn't be. So that's the Ohio. Did you ever hear of a state called Ohio? Remember when?
I'm about to be Ohio.
Biden came here, and he said, "It's great to be with the people of Michigan." That did not play well. Remember? And when he went to Iowa, and he said that he's in Idaho, right? Said, I love the potatoes. And they're saying, we don't do the potato thing here. Oh, what we go through. No, go back to that one because I love it because it's Ohio. What did it say there? Let's see. Ohio general election. Trump, 55. Biden, 35. So it hasn't changed too much since the election. It's just gotten better. So that's plus 20. Are you hearing this fake news media? You faking son of a... Okay, let's go to the next one. Go to the next one. Nevada. Trump is up plus 12. And by the way, look at your friends over there. You see that? Lexalt is up plus 5. Lombardo up against the governor. Sisolak, a real beauty. He is up 5.
Sisolak.
That's great. Trump up 12. Let's go to the next one. These are great polls. They just came out. General election, Trump plus 11 on Joe Biden. That's a lot. That's a lot.
It'd be more than that, don't you? Wouldn't you
That's
think
North
that?
Carolina.
Oh, here's your state, drunk.
Whoa.
They're saying there's no way it's only 11. I don't think so. I agree. And by the way, you know who's here from North Carolina? A wonderful person named Lara. Lara, stand up, please. Will you go over
Who's
and
that,
shake
drunk?
their hands, please, Laura?
Laura's not
She's so
my name.
popular.
I know, right?
She's so popular. Ted Budd is doing great, but he said if she ever runs, I'm out of this race, okay?
She's pretty, whoever she
Ted
is.
Budd is doing great.
Tall.
Laura, you just made 20 new friends, okay?
Wow, look at her, drunk.
And let's see. So
should
that
go
was
meet
North
her.
Carolina. Go ahead, next. We're way up. What's next?
Yeah, the polls are never right.
Isn't that nice? Look at that one. Plus 13.
Hey, guys, don't forget to hit that
Wow.
like button.
You know what that is, don't you? You know what state that is? Look at that. Plus 13. Nobody wants to see that. Look at that. Kansas. Great place. Plus 13. What's next? These just came out. Missouri. Trump.
Could you
Plus
tell the
16.
truth,
I love
Hope?
Missouri. Joe Biden. So we're 53. Biden's 37. And Missouri. Good guy running for the Senate there, too, right? A good guy, Eric Schmidt. Eric Schmidt is doing well. Next.
Next.
Oklahoma, plus 29. I love Oklahoma. Wow.
That's Gross
Trump
State.
59, Biden 30. And, you know, you almost wonder, who the hell are the 30%? Who are they? Nothing good is happening in our country. And I don't know, they probably have some more, but they're all like this. It's incredible. It's incredible. And, you know, these are misinformation people. All they do is misinformation and cheating on elections, okay? Because how do you win
he
an
landed
election
his plane, or
when
he
you
parked
have
his plane
defund
right
the
there,
police,
huh? Oh, shit.
no voter ID, high taxes, open borders, bad military, no money spent on military? You know, I mean, how do you win elections with this stuff? No more oil, high energy prices. The only way is you cheat, okay? You know, they want no voter ID. They don't want any country ID. In other words, if you are from another country, you don't have to prove anything.
What's up,
You just
David?
go in and have fun, vote. Because that's how they win the election. That's the only way they win, because their policy is so bad, they shouldn't even be in the elections, okay? To every citizen who's appalled by the radical left's lawlessness and corruption, this election is your chance to make your voice heard. This is a big deal. This is a big election. And early voting, which is a little concerning, because when you see early voting, I say to everybody, vote on Election Day, because it's harder for them to cheat. You know, it's much harder because they don't know how many votes they have to produce. They don't know how many ballots they have to print out.
Ooh, my
You
chest
know,
hurts.
you keep them in suspense, and then you say, nope, we beat you here. With your vote, you can reject left-wing tyranny and proudly declare America must remain a free country. It's got to remain this is not a free country. You could take the 5 worst presidents in American history and put them together, and they would have not done the damage that Joe Biden has done to our nation in less than 2 short years. Take a look at the screen.
How would you say your mental focus is?
Oh, it's focused.
Oh, let us see it.
I haven't. Look.
Let's get ready to bumble!
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America. I think it's a right for people that bad at up there. America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
Y'all ready for this?
I was Well, Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. Wait. All men and women created by go. You know the thing. If it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to.
Yeah, 54 states help.
We went for two reasons. One, to show an international effort to pressure. When they tried to do, we went to 54 states. What are you talking about? We choose truth over facts. I've had a couple Washington visits. But the nature, not Representative Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here. What am I doing here? Come on, man.
Jody cracked the mic.
Yeah. Thank you for your tolerance and listening to me. I appreciate it very much. So.
Uh-oh. Something's going on. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, they're cussing him out.
So, when you see that, remember that we are dealing with people that are at the absolute top of their game. And we're dealing with nuclear weapons. Nuclear was never discussed, never supposed to be discussed. It's so devastating, you just can't talk about it. We're talking about it every day. And we have people that don't know what they're doing. It's a very sad thing. And I personally believe it's the most dangerous time in the history of our country. We have people that don't have a clue. And we're dealing with weapons that are hundreds of times more powerful than anything we ever had before. Under my leadership and with the help of Ohio energy workers, we had for the first time American energy independence, and we're going to energy dominance very shortly.
As soon as you get what are you going to take them, like a year?
And now Biden is begging, absolutely begging and pleading with OPEC. Did you see that with the fist bump? But instead of increasing production, they cut it. They cut production. Did the exact opposite of what he has. We gave you the largest tax cuts and regulation cuts in American history. You had your industry going better than it ever was before. By contrast, the radical Democrat Congress passed one of the largest tax hikes in American history. Unbelievable tax hike. Horrible tax hike. Really going to be bad for our country. Under the Trump administration, we had the greatest economy in the history of the world with no inflation. Biden and the Democrat Congress created the worst inflation in 50 years, 9.1%. But it's much higher than that. It's not 9.1. I bet you it's double than that, probably more. I rebuilt our military, including our nuclear capability and the creation of Space Force, first time in 79 years, Space Force.
I gotta get one of those
You have
hats.
a lot of Space Force workers right here, Ohio.
You guys want to buy me something for Christmas? Buy me a Space Force hat.
A lot of work is done on Space Force in Ohio. They surrendered our strength and turned Afghanistan into the greatest humiliation our country has ever had. I believe it was the most humiliating thing that's ever happened to our country. And now we have a war between Russia and Ukraine with potentially hundreds of thousands of people dying. That would never have happened.
Can you guys hear static?
If I was president, it would never have happened.
I know how to test it out.
Even the other side.
Okay, the static's on their end. Sorry, guys.
The election was rigged and stolen, and now our country is being destroyed.
We don't know that for sure.
I ran twice. I won twice, and I did much better the second time than I did the first.
You're gonna go. When are you going? Diggle work. I'll drive up there to see you.
Millions more votes in 2020 than I got in 2016. And likewise getting more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country.
Hell yeah.
True. The first step to saving America is winning an epic victory for Republicans tomorrow. I don't have
But
to
you
say
have to go out
dates
and vote,
anymore.
folks. Do not
I don't
forget
have
to
to
vote.
say it's going to be in 3 weeks and 2 days. JD, all that work tomorrow, you're going to be so happy. I believe you're going to be happy. I believe it. Going to be your next senator from this great state of Ohio, J.D. Vance. We love you, J.D. I've gotten to know him really well. He's a great guy. He didn't used to like me too much 2-3 years ago. But he likes me now, and I like him. And I don't think it changes. I have some of them, and sometimes I won't let him back in. But I met with him, and I tell you what, he gets it. He's smart. He's tough. And he was right about a lot of things, J.D. will fight for Ohio with every bone in his body. As a native of your state who has personally witnessed the pillaging of Ohio jobs and the devastation of Ohio communities, J.D. knows how important it is to have leaders who put America first and put Ohio first. He wants to put America first. They think that's such a bad thing, so bad. He's a former Marine and a Yale-educated lawyer. He's a great student. I spoke to somebody that went to Yale with him. He said he was a great student, so I might as well tell you that. Some people said, oh, don't put it out. He's elite. Well, yeah, he's elite. He's elite in intelligence, and that's what we want, right? Don't we want that? And he'll bring the toughness and intellectual firepower
If it is,
we
Charles,
need to
I got it
champion our
ready. I'm
movement
ready
and
for
our
him.
values in the U.S. Senate. He will fight for strong borders, fair trade, more Ohio jobs, and he will be tough as you can be on crime. J.D. will never be owned by the establishment. He won't be owned by me either, unfortunately. I'd love to own the guy, but I don't think he'll be there for me, but that's okay. You know what? I'm doing the right thing for the country. He's a very independent guy. And he'll be an independent senator who is loyal only to the people of Ohio. That's what he loves, the people of Ohio. He loves his state.
I wish I had a good person in California.
Tomorrow night, you are going to hear the wailing and shrieking of the fake news all the way from New York to Washington, because the media will know that Ohio has just elected a truly MAGA all-star. Make America great again. He's an all-star.
Yeah.
And he has been for a long time. We're actually saying the same thing, but we're saying it differently, don't you think? You know, when I really look back, we're saying the exact same thing, just a little bit differently. J.D. is running against a do-nothing, showboating, radical Democrat politician named Tim Ryan. I've watched him. He fought me on the wall. He fought me on everything. Tariffs on China. Did I hit China hard? We took in $430 billion from China. Not one other president took in 10 cents. Ryan pretends to be a moderate, pretends to be almost a Trump supporter, but he's voted with crazy Nancy Pelosi 100% of the time over the last 2 years. 100%. And then he tries to say that he's with me. He's not with me. He supported Joe Biden's war on American energy. He voted for a massive tax increase on Ohio workers and families. And he voted for mass amnesty and free government health care for illegal aliens. He wanted them to come in. He wants the open borders, let them all come in from all over the world, even if they come from the prisons of these other places that are very tough places. Tim Ryan declared that he is all for releasing criminals from prison and emptying out American jails. And he supports
I think there's a law you can't
cash bail.
He can't.
That's the real Tim Ryan, by the way.
He's
That's
running
not
for president until after
the Trump ally. Tim Ryan has also voted repeatedly to continue Democrats' war on Ohio energy workers. He wants to stop energy, and you make a fortune with energy and a fortune in jobs. Your taxes would double and triple if you ever did that.
Poppy CT is
He
kicking in.
voted to cancel the Keystone XL pipeline. How about that one? I started it immediately, my first day in office, and they ended it as soon as they got there. He said that a plan to eliminate coal-fired power plants was amazing. He just loved it. He used the word amazing. And he said that he wants to get rid of all gas vehicles, which would decimate the Ohio auto industry. He wants to go to all electric. Wonderful, great for China. Not good for us, great for China. But just 24 hours from now, Tim Ryan is going to be out of a job. J.D. Vance is going to be on his way to the United States Senate. And J.D. is a really good man. J.D., please come up.
That means the speech is almost over.
It's great to have the president back in Ohio. Sir, thank you for being here. Look, the stakes are simple. The president said it well. We got to get out there and run up the score on these guys because we need to win, and we need to win big and take our country back. That's exactly what we're going to do. The simple thing here is we need senators who are fighters and senators who are doers. No more talking about big tech. No more talking about the border. We need people who are going to fight for the issues and actually get something done for the people of Ohio. That's what I'm going to do. Let's get out to the polls tomorrow. Thank you all.
There you go.
Thank you, JD. You're going to win big. You've got to send a signal to these people that are ruining our country. They're destroying our country. Tomorrow, you also need to get out and vote to re-elect Governor Mike DeWine and your Lieutenant Governor, John Husted. You got to do that. He's done a good job. He's done a good job. Mike and John have been an outstanding team who have fought tirelessly to bring jobs and factories back to Ohio. I worked with them on doing that, including the $20 billion Intel plant that will create more than 20,000 Ohio jobs. And they cut taxes, slashed regulations, and they delivered historic funding for support and for the police officers, and they've really done a job. Mike and John are running against a radical left lunatic who was a disaster as the mayor of Dayton. I got to know her when we had a terrible shooting here. Remember, I went to the hospital. I got to know her, and I said, she's not good. Nan Whaley. Well, it's not much of a race, I have to tell you. They're so far ahead. But I got to know her. She was terrible. Under her watch, Dayton, Ohio, had one of the highest murder rates in the entire country, yet she backed a budget to cancel the police academy as a commissioner. She voted to defund the police. Oh, that's wonderful. That's what we need in Dayton, where crime is setting records. Let's defund the police, right? She's a high tax, high regulation, far left liberal who would demolish your economy in a matter of months. I think it would be very quick. And she would totally betray the values of the people of Ohio, who have the finest values you can have. Ohio needs to get up and just vote for these two great people, Mike DeWine and John Husted. By the way, are they here? I think so. Come on up. Well, this is a great honor. You know, I gave my endorsement a long time ago, but, oh, that's great. That's really nice. Hi, John. Great. President, thank you very much for having us. Good job. President, good job.
Yeah, there's some booing there. What's up, Hangtown?
Say a couple of words.
Mr. President, thank you very much. You know, in Ohio, Mr. President, we fund the police. We've done a great job doing that. We've cut our taxes. We're moving Ohio forward.
Is this the guy you don't like, Hope?
And thank you for being here to endorse J.D. Vance. J.D. is going to do an absolute phenomenal job.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I wonder how much he paid Trump to let him come up on stage. How much he donated.
Well, that was a very nice welcome, but he's up by 25 points or something, and they should be. They should be. Thank you. Thank you very much, fellas.
Of course, Hangtown.
Thank you very much. In addition to re-electing Mike and John, we need everyone to get out and vote for the Republican candidates for Ohio's Supreme Court: Sharon Kennedy, Pat Fisher, Pat DeWine. And we're also joined tonight by Ohio Secretary of State, Frank LaRose. Where's Frank? Hi, Frank. Nice-looking young guy. Frank, you're doing a great job. Really great job. State Treasurer Robert Sprague. Robert, thank you very much. Great job. State Auditor Keith Faber. Thank you, Keith. A man that I love, I tell you. I'm not a big lover of men. But this guy I love. You know, he was one of the best wrestlers in the country. His sons are both All-Americans. And I spoke to his one boy, who's actually a larger person than him, I think like a 188 or something. And he's All-American. I said, well, would you say you were better than your father? He said, sir, I wasn't even close.
I'm an All-American.
And he meant it, too. He meant it. But he is a fighter just like he was as a great wrestler, virtually undefeated. And he was the NCAA champion of the country. You know, I dealt with him for a long time, and I'd look at that face. And I said, you know, those ears are
really
a little moved. There's a little action going on with those ears.
What's up,
And
Richard?
I said, Jim Jordan, did you
Not
ever
yet.
wrestle? Yeah, I did, actually. And then I looked at his record, like virtually undefeated. He was the best in the whole country, best wrestler. But I looked at it, and I looked at those years. I shouldn't say this because I've never told this. I said, that guy had some things going on with the fighting stuff. But he is such a warrior and such an incredible guy. Is he here? Is he here? Come here. Come here. I love this guy. Come here, Jim.
This is how the poppy
Say
seeds come.
Well, they've heard from me, Mr. President, but they want you back here. I'll just say this. My favorite scripture verse is 2 Timothy 4:7. It says, fight the good fight, finish the course, keep the faith. And I tell folks, that's a verse for our country. Fight, finish, keep. Words of action, not timid words, not sissy words, words that we associate with America and words that we associate with the best president we've ever had, President Trump. God bless you all.
Thank you, Jim, very much. And a friend of Jim's and a friend of all of us, Warren Davidson. Warren, thank you very much. Good job you're doing. Mike Carey, and a person who, Mike, where's Mike? Hi, Mike. Great. Good job, Mike. Warrior. Another warrior, a person who's very shy, very timid. We're trying to get her to get a little tougher. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
There's trouble.
She's terrific. She did a commercial. Yes, yes, yes. Somebody can break into my house. We'll treat him very nicely. But first he's got to go through this. And I said, that's a hell of a commercial. But she's great. And she's done a tremendous job. And she's highly respected. And she just won with almost like everybody voted for her. She's great. Thank you very much, Marjorie. It's an honor to have you. Congressional candidates. Oh, I love this guy, Max Miller. Where's Max? So, where is Max? I'll tell you, the job he's done, right? And he was with me for 4 years. I know him maybe almost as well as that guy right there, Jim. But Max is going to be a great congressman, and he turned out to be an incredible campaigner. You know, they're having a hard time with the district, and it kept getting worse and worse. They got him. It was a Trump plus 20, then it was a Trump plus 10, then it was a Trump plus 2. They kept playing, and he kept saying, don't worry about it, sir. I'm going to win anyway. Doesn't matter. And then it went the other way, where it's a little Democrat. He said, don't worry about it. And then in the end, it became like a Trump plus 18. I don't know how the hell you pulled that off. But you know what? You did a great job for me, Max, and I'm here for you, and you're going to have a great career. So, great. Young man and a great man. Grew up right here. Thank you very much, Max. And J.R. Majewski, you know, he suffered a lot of
Colorado
false statements. And I just want to tell you, everyone knows all of the people that I've just named, but they have my complete and total endorsement. You know that. And they treated JR very unfairly. They made up a lot of stories. He's a tremendous warrior and a great gentleman, and I think he's going to do very well tomorrow. But I think you got treated very unfairly. I don't even know what's going to happen. You know, the fake news went after him, and we don't know what's going to happen. But I think you're going to have a good result because the people know that you are a legitimate hero. You know who told me that? You know who told me that? Jim Jordan. That's all I have to hear when Jim says it. So good luck tomorrow, fellas. Good luck tomorrow. Ohio Republican Party Chairman, a friend of mine, Bob Paduchek. Bob, great. You're doing great, Bob. The party's doing great.
All these people want to
And
roll
a man
with
that's
Trump.
the greatest buyer of commercials in the
All the
history
Democrats
of our
tell
country, Mike
Biden
Lindell.
not to push him.
Greatest in history. He's the greatest in history at buying commercials. And he's a patriot, too. You know, the FBI raided him. They took his phone. I don't know what the hell they're going to learn about pillows. I don't know why they want. They'll know everything there is to know about pillows. Thank you, Mike. When Republicans take back Congress this week, we will fight for the people of Ohio, and we will win for the people of Ohio. One of the first things we must do is stand up for, can you believe this, parental rights? Who ever thought, can you believe, I think I'm called a politician. I hate to call myself a politician, but a politician would have to stick up for parental rights. The parents have their rights. But now we have to fight because the radical left lunatics want to take parents' rights away from them. But we won't let that happen. We will get critical race theory out of our schools, out of our military, and out of every part of our federal, state, and local governments. And at long last, every parent in America must be empowered to opt out of the forced indoctrination in the classroom and send their child to the public, private, charter, religious, or homeschool.
Oh, is that
of
why
their
they're saying it,
choice.
Hope?
We will also, if you don't mind, it's politically incorrect, they tell me, but I'm okay with it. We will keep men like Jim Jordan out of women's sports. Okay?
I didn't hear that, Richard.
I want to find a woman that can beat Jim. I'd pay a lot to watch that. I'd pay a lot of money to watch that. No teacher should ever be allowed to teach transgender to our children without parental consent. I mean, can you imagine? They actually do it without parental consent. The country's going crazy. Another one of our highest priorities under a Republican Congress will be to stop left-wing censorship and to restore free speech in America.
Elon Musk.
And go out and sign up for Truth Social. It's great. It's doing fantastically. It's better than Twitter. It's better than all of them. Just go out and get it. It's hot as a pistol. And everywhere the Republican Party has the chance, we must pass we have to do this, critical election integrity reforms, including universal voter ID, citizenship confirmation. You know, they're fighting us on citizenship confirmation. Can you believe it? Now, the only reason somebody wouldn't want to do that, think of it, is they have to cheat. Okay? Common thing. Who wouldn't want that? We don't want to learn where you come from. What country do you come from? You're not allowed to ask a question like that as they go to vote for your local representative. No more fake drop boxes, JD. No private money pouring into local election offices. And ultimately, we need same-day voting with only paper ballots and voter ID. And you'll save a lot of money on the machines. You're going to save a lot of money on the machine. Now think of it. Pennsylvania, 3-4 days. They're going to be 3-4 days late. What a joke. What a joke. There's something going on. We're just hours away from the most important midterm election in American history, and we need a landslide so big that the radical left cannot rig it or cannot steal it. Everybody needs to get out and vote, and if you care about election integrity, volunteer as an election worker, a poll watcher, a poll challenger. That's what you have to do because they do it, and they do it in a very rough manner, but we're going to swamp them. This is the year we're going to take back the House, we're going to take back the Senate, and we're going to take back America. And in 2024, most importantly, we are going to take back our magnificent White House.
Hell yeah.
We'll take it back.
Hey, only Mr. Bill, Digaworth's going to be around the Portland area in December. I'm going to go up and visit. We should all have dinner or something.
Together we will fight for more jobs for Ohio families, fair trade for Ohio workers, and more Ohio factories forging more products stamped with Uncle Sam, the beautiful phrase, made in the USA, Uncle Sam.
Hell yeah.
We will shut down Biden's border disaster, reinstitute our strong Remain in Mexico policy, strengthen the patriots, and they are indeed patriots of ICE and Border Patrol, and we will again end catch and release. We will end chain migration. We will end the visa
where the hell my
lottery,
ICE hat is.
and we will end illegal immigration in our country once and for all. We want people to come in, but they have to come in legally. Legally. We will stop the crime wave in Democrat-run cities. We will give our police the power they need and the respect that they deserve. And we will not take legal protection away from our police. They want to take protection so that if somebody sues a police person for doing their job, they have to go out and hire their own lawyer. That's not a good idea. We will restore law and order in America. We will hold China accountable for unleashing the virus upon the world. $65 trillion in damage. They can't pay that much, but something's going to happen. We will abolish all COVID mandates and lockdowns.
Nice.
And rehire every patriot who was fired from the military with an apology and full back pay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And we will defend our Constitution, we will defend the Second Amendment, and we will proudly uphold the Judeo-Christian values and principles of our nation's founding. We will restore patriotic education to our schools, and we will teach our children to love their country, honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. Always respect our flag.
What's up, Wiley?
In conclusion, our MAGA movement, Make America Great Again, is by far the greatest political movement in the history of our country. They never challenge that. They've never challenged it. It's an amazing thing. They wouldn't challenge it. If I said anything slightly wrong, they challenge, but they can't challenge that. Together, we are standing up against some of the most menacing forces, entrenched interests, and vicious opponents our people have ever seen. Despite great outside dangers, our biggest threat remains the sick, sinister, and evil people from within our country. You know who I'm talking about. You see them all the time. But no matter how big or powerful the corrupt radical left Democrats that we are fighting against may be, you must never forget, this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. That's who it belongs to. This is your home. This is your heritage, and our American liberty is your God-given right. From Akron to Toledo, from Cleveland to Columbus, from Youngstown to Dayton, you inherit the legacy of generations of Americans who risked their everything for the beloved country that they love so much. Ohio is the state that gave us American heroes, icons, and legends with names like Neil Armstrong, Annie Oakley, and the great General and President Ulysses S. Grant. And this is the state that gave us legions of farmers, soldiers, steelworkers, and skilled craftsmen who built this country with the sweat of their brows and the strength of their spines, and they suffered so greatly. But they also gave us something very, very special, the goodness of their souls. Your Ohio ancestors fought the battles, they broke the barriers, they conquered the unknown dangers, they pushed into uncharted frontiers, and they made America into the greatest nation in the history of the world.
I guess so, Colorado girl.
But now we are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation.
Oh, Richard.
We are a nation that has the highest inflation in 50 years, and where the stock market finished the worst first half of the year.
I thought Joe Biden said it's the greatest economy ever.
72. Likewise, we are a nation that has the highest energy costs in its history. We are no longer energy independent or energy dominant, as we were just 2 short years ago. We are a nation that is begging Venezuela, Saudi Arabia, and many others for oil. Please, please, please help us, Joe Biden says, as we have more liquid gold right under our feet than any other country anywhere in the world. We are a nation that is consumed by the radical left's Green New Deal, yet everyone knows that the Green New Deal will lead to our total destruction. We are a nation whose leaders are demanding all electric cars, even though they can't go far, cost too much, and whose batteries are produced in China with materials only available in China, when an unlimited amount of gasoline is available inexpensively in the United States, but it is not available in China. We are a nation that ended oil exploration and production in the United States just as the price of oil reached an all-time high. What other country would do such a thing? We are a nation that surrendered in Afghanistan, leaving behind dead soldiers, American citizens, and $85 billion worth of the finest military equipment anywhere in the world. We are a nation that allowed Russia to devastate a country, Ukraine, killing hundreds of thousands of people, and it will only get worse. It would never have happened with me as your commander-in-chief, and for 4 straight years, it didn't happen. And China, with Taiwan, is next. We are a nation that has weaponized its law enforcement against opposing political parties like never before. We've got a Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Fuck the FBI.
That won't allow bad election-changing facts to be presented to the public, and which offers $1 million to a writer of fiction about Donald Trump to lie and say it was fact.
What do you guys think drunk uncle is cooking for dinner?
$200,000 to get Trump. Go out and get Trump. Where Hunter Biden's laptop from hell was Russian disinformation, and the FBI knew it wasn't, and a Department of Justice that refuses to investigate egregious acts of voting irregularities and fraud. And we have a man who is the worst president in the history of our country,
ever,
who is cognitively impaired, in no condition to lead, and is now casually talking about nuclear war with Russia, which would be World War III and far more devastating than any of the previous world wars because of the weaponry that no one can ever even imagine or think about. It is so powerful. We are a nation that no longer has a free press. Fake news is all you get, and they are indeed the enemy of the people. We are a nation where free speech is no longer allowed, where crime is rampant and out of control like never before, and where more people died of COVID in 2021 than in 2020. We are a nation that is allowing Iran to build a massive nuclear weapon and China to use the trillions and trillions of dollars it has taken from us to build a military to rival our own. And just 2 years ago, we had Iran, China, Russia, and North Korea in check. They weren't going to do a thing against us, and everyone knows it. They respected us more than they ever respected us. And perhaps most importantly, we're a nation that no longer is respected.
Yeah, he normally does. I'm proud to be an American.
Around the world, we are a nation that in many ways has become a joke. We are a nation that is hostile to liberty, freedom, and faith. And we are a nation whose economy is collapsing into a cesspool of ruin, whose supply chain is broken, whose stores are not stocked, whose deliveries are not coming, and whose educational system is ranked at the very bottom of every single list. We are
Because
a
what he's
nation
saying,
where
wildlife, I
large
think.
packs of sadistic criminals and thieves are allowed to go into stores and openly rob them, beat up the workers, and kill the customers, leave with armloads of goods but with no retribution, where the authority of our great police has been taken, where their families and pensions have been threatened,
Think so,
and their
Josephine?
lives would be destroyed for the mere mention of the words law enforcement. We are a nation where the people are allowed to murder, kill,
No, they don't, Richard.
rob, and rape innocent victims, and they have no cash bail, and they're back on the streets allowed
up,
to do
Future?
it again in a matter of hours. We are a nation where fentanyl and all other forms of illegal drugs are easier to get than formula for our beautiful little babies.
Maybe,
A
Andy.
nation whose once revered airports are dirty, crowded, a mess, an unsightly, horrible mess. You sit and wait for hours and then are notified that the plane won't leave and they have no idea when it will. Where ticket prices have tripled, they don't have the pilots to fly the planes, they don't seek qualified air traffic controllers, and they just don't know what the hell they're doing. We are a nation that has lost its confidence, its willpower, and its strength. And we are a nation that has just plain lost its way. But we are a nation that is not going to allow this horror to continue.
I could have heard it at the two that I went to.
2 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will be a great nation again.
There you go, Sagittarius.
But not to detract from tomorrow's very important, even critical election. And I would say, in the strongest way, it's a country-saving election, specifically including the election of all the people that I'm going to name. I'm going to be making a very big announcement on Tuesday, November 15th, at Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida.
Oh, there he goes. Hope's ahead of us.
We want nothing to detract from the importance of tomorrow. You understand that, JD? So I'm going to go over a list of people, and I think you'll find it really inspiring, because they're very inspiring people. So we must first elect J.D. Vance for the Senate in Ohio, Mike DeWine for governor in Ohio, Dr. Oz for Senate in Pennsylvania, Doug Mastriano for governor in Pennsylvania, Blake Masters for Senate in Arizona, Carrie Lake for governor in Arizona.
Ah, I see.
A great guy who I've known for a long time. He fought with Jim Jordan and all the rest on the fake impeachments. Lee Zeldin for governor in New York. He's doing great. One of the greatest athletes you'll ever meet, Herschel Walker for Senate in Georgia. And Brian Kemp for governor in Georgia.
I saw him play when he played for the Vikings.
Adam Laxalt for Senate in Nevada. And Joe Lombardo for governor in Nevada. Marco Rubio for Senate in Florida. And Ron DeSantis for governor in Florida. Tudor Dixon for governor in Michigan. And Ron Johnson for Senate in Wisconsin. Tim Michaels for governor in Wisconsin. Chuck Grassley for Senate in Iowa. And Kim Reynolds for governor in Iowa. Katie Britt for Senate in Alabama. Kelly Shabaka for Senate in Alaska. Mike Dunleavy for governor in Alaska.
Every time I hear that name, I think about the Lakers
John
coach.
Bozeman
Remember him,
for
drunk?
Senate in Arkansas. Sarah Sanders, did you ever hear of her?
Sarah Sanders Huckabee. Did she get
She's
divorced?
great. For governor in Arkansas. Leora Levy for Senate in Connecticut. Mike Crapo for Senate in Idaho. Jerry Moran for Senate in Kansas. Derek Schmidt for governor in Kansas. Rand Paul for Senate in Kentucky. John Kennedy for Senate in Louisiana. Eric Schmidt for senator in Missouri. Ted Budd for Senate in North Carolina. John Hoeven for Senate in North Dakota. James Lankford for Senate in Oklahoma.
I ran for office, Richard Hurt.
Mark Wayne Mullen, who's a great guy, great future, for
I
Senate
ran for county
in
supervisor.
Oklahoma. Kevin Stitt for governor in Oklahoma. Tim Scott, another great, great guy, for Senate in South Carolina.
I don't know if we'll say
Henry
Oregon.
McMaster
Mr. Bill.
doing an unbelievable job for governor in South Carolina. Mike Lee for Senate in Utah. Gerald Malloy for Senate in Vermont. Darren Bailey, he's doing great, for governor in Illinois, and Illinois has to defeat Pritzker. Darren's going to do it. Dan Cox for governor in Maryland.
You, Richard.
Jeff Deal for governor in Massachusetts. Scott Jensen for governor in Minnesota. Mark Ronchetti for governor of New Mexico. Kristi Noem for governor of South Dakota. Bill Lee for governor in Tennessee. Greg Abbott for governor in Texas.
You're
All
right,
of our
David.
wonderful attorney general candidates, Abe Hamadeh in Arizona, Tim Griffin in Arkansas.
I don't know. You guys need to hear him saying everybody's names.
Brenna Bird in Iowa, Matt DePerno in Michigan, Sigal Chattah in Nevada, Michael Henry is doing incredibly well in New York, Dave Yost in Ohio, Alan Wilson in South Carolina, and Ken Paxton in Texas. And all other Trump-endorsed Republicans up and down the line, including Mark Fincham, Jim Marchant, Christina Caramo. It was hard-working patriots like you who built this country, and it is hard-working patriots like you who are going to save our country. We will stand up to the radical left Democrats, and we will fight for America like no one has ever fought before. There is no mountain we cannot climb. There is no summit we cannot reach. There is no challenge we cannot meet. There is no victory we cannot have. We will not bend. We will not break. We will not yield. We will never give in. We will never give up. And we will never, ever back down. As long as we are confident, united, and loyal to the cause, the tyrants we are fighting do not stand even a chance, because we are Americans, and Americans kneel to God and to God alone.
Unlike Obama, who knelt to Saudi princes.
The silent majority is back and stronger than ever before. We will take our country back. My fellow citizens, this incredible journey we are on together has only just begun. And it is
'Cause
time
it's
to
only
start
just begun.
talking about greatness, 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 greatness again for our country. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And with the help of everyone here tonight and citizens all across our land, we will make America powerful again.
Hell yeah. Mappa.
We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Ohio. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. JD, go get him. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to turn them down so we don't get in trouble for the darn songs. You know. What's going on, drunk? What's going on, everybody? And it's funny.
Well, hello. For a fucking hour and a half.
Well, hey, people wanted to watch it. And it's funny, so Patriot News Network is sharing this, but they can't give me a copyright strike because he's actually sharing it from Real America's Voice. And I'm an intern. I've been an intern since Real America Voice first started. So I kind of work for them. Like, I could call the station manager right now. I wouldn't. He'd be pissed. He's over in Denver.
I'm going to say, hey, man, I need Thanksgiving off.
Right? He's like, Eddie, you have every day off. You only send us videos when you want to.
Well, technically, I just wanted to let you know that I need Thanksgiving off, just in case you thought about calling me in.
There you go, right? I wonder if Ben's there. Normally Ben is at all the rallies. Anyways, well, I hope you enjoyed his speech, guys. Everybody, once again, if it's going to be a red wave tomorrow, you have to go and vote. I don't want to hear, well, I was busy, I was doing this, I had to cook dinner for the kids. No.
Tell them about the moon, Eddie. Tell them about the moon.
I'll let you tell it because that's your story. But go to vote tomorrow, guys. You know what they do? They tell everybody. Oh, Trump is winning, right? In the hopes that you're going to say, well, since he's winning, I'm not going to go vote for him. I don't have to go vote tomorrow. He's going to win. It's easy. No, that's what they do. And if enough of those people don't vote, then it screws it over. So there's not going to be a red wave tomorrow unless everybody that votes red goes out and votes. Now, Drunk Uncle told me an interesting story today, and I'm going to let him tell it to you because he told it to me, and I'm not going to take credit for his story. So there you go,
It's not elaborate or anything, but supposedly we're supposed to have a red moon tomorrow, Pam. Early this morning. Like, what time is it? Who knows?
Depends on where you are.
Yeah.
Hey, Hangtown, if you're voting in Sacramento, don't forget to vote for Jeffrey Perrine for Board of Education, or no, whatever it is.
And the red moon, I think it's by the Incans. Correct me if I'm wrong, somewhere in the chat. That means the changing of the king, or the overthrow of the king. So it's a weird coinky dink that we're supposed to have a red wave during a red moon, red moon, and it means, we're gonna take it back. Take it back.
I don't have Duarte, so I'm up in Yosemite, so I don't have Duarte up here. Or do I? Let me see. You know what's funny? I hope my stepdad filled his out last night. I didn't fill his out, but he asked me questions about who was who and who to vote for and what the Republican Party of Madera says. Yeah, we'll be doing the election tomorrow night. See, I don't fill out my ballot until I get there. I do it right there and then I drop it off. Paper ballot. So, in California for governor, well, we're not going to go over this. But, I'm lucky. I live in a conservative area. I'm in Bass Lake, Yosemite, so we're good here. Yeah, Red Moon. And plus, you know, I got Donnie J. Trump here. Huh, Donald? He's like, what, Dad? Look, he answers to Donald now. Look at him. So, anyways, you just have to walk next door to vote. That must be nice. I live like 15, 20 minutes from my polling center. Oh, Pam says it's buffering. Is it buffering for anybody else?
Slightly.
It is. I wonder why it's buffering.
Very, very, very slightly.
Very slightly?
I look up and see a spinny. It was like quarter second.
Okay. You followed me as Stop the Steal Sacramento? Stop the Steal Sacramento. I think I've been... Oh, with Ollie. That was with Ollie? That was a long time ago. That was quite a long time ago. I've been in Sacramento so many times, it's not even funny. Not even funny. But anyways, guys, just a reminder. Just go vote tomorrow. To be honest, that's one of the most important things you can do. I shouldn't say this. Some of you might get mad at me for saying this. I don't care which way you vote tomorrow, as long as you vote. That's your American right. I want you to vote red, and I want you to vote my way, but I just want you to vote. Get your vote out there. Your word matters. Your vote counts. That's all I'm going to say. So how
either vote or agree to shut the fuck up.
Right? Right? Oh my gosh. So my ex-wife, we went and voted, and she wouldn't vote for president. She hated Donald Trump and she hated Hillary Clinton, so she didn't vote for president. And like one day she's bitching about President Trump, and I was like, just shut the fuck up. And she's like, you're gonna tell me to shut the fuck up? And I was like, yeah, you didn't vote. She's like, well, I didn't like either one of them. I'm like, but you didn't vote, so you can't talk shit. If she had voted for Hillary Clinton, then she could have talked shit to me. But no, she didn't vote.
They just write somebody's name in.
Yeah.
Vote for Kanye.
Shit. She could have put in Mickey Mouse for all, you know.
Yeah.
Shit. We got a guy at the Oaks. Every election, every year, he fucking goes down there and he'll put in Peter Pan, you know, Mickey Mouse, right? Except for, so when I ran for Exalted Ruler of the Elks, which is the president of the Elks, except for that one time, he took a picture of it and he sent it to me. He's like, look, Eddie, I never put people's name in there. I always, you know, he always does the stupid stuff. He's all, except for you, I wrote your name. I felt special. I felt special. They called it, and this is like the grumpy old man, you know. Nobody liked him. But like he'd gotten, for a while here in the Central Valley, we had, what is it? The virus that you get from mosquitoes, the West Nile virus. And he was in the hospital. And as as president of the Elks, you know, it was my job to go down and see everybody that was sick. And I went and visited them, and I sat there for a couple hours with them. So it was cool. What's up, Cat Lives Matter? What's up? Oh, I know why people weren't talking earlier. We must still be set to, you gotta wait, you gotta be a subscriber to vote to we had some trolls in here lately, so we had to make it subscribers only can write in here. So I'll start with my weekend, because we're gonna show a video of Trunk's weekend, a little bit of it. It started raining on Saturday, and I'm working on a brand new studio. I'm gonna have a green screen painted wall behind me and stuff like that. And unfortunately, the people that were putting it up didn't cover it and tarp it. So I went to go tarp it because it was starting to rain, and it's gonna rain for 3 days here. And well, I fell off a 8-foot ladder. So I'm still in a lot of pain. Like, I landed right on I got a big old bruise like this fucking big on my back, on my booty, my hip. And like,
you got lucky, man.
I did. Well, like when I showed up at the hospital, you know, this yesterday morning, like as soon as I showed him the bruise, he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a full body scan on you. And I was like, okay. And then they're like, well, did you drive yourself? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, I was going to give you a shot. He was going to give me a nice shot of that morphine stuff, you know, that you're just like, ah. But I drove myself, so I couldn't. So that sucks. But you know, he didn't give me any pain meds afterwards. You know what he gave me? Muscle relaxers. I got no pain meds. I didn't even go pick them up. Who cares about muscle relaxers? That's why I'm drinking this poppy seed tea. Anyway, so Drunk had an interesting weekend. If you guys don't know, he likes jiu-jitsu, and he'd been practicing it. Holy shit, is that your beer can fucking box stacked right there or something?
No.
Oh, it looks like a whole bunch of beer can boxes, or like Red Bull. No, oh, yeah, he's all no, and then he turns the camera. Oh my god. That's all right, I'm just fucking with you. You can turn it back. Freaking, but anyway, so if you don't know, Drunk Uncle's in the jiu-jitsu, and he's been training a lot. And so he went to a tournament this weekend. What happened at your tournament this weekend? Or you just want me to show the video?
Actually, it's Naga.
Yeah, it's called Naga.
It's the world's largest grappling tournament. They do a whole bunch of shows. It's not like one a year.
And real quick, who shot your fucking video? Tell him to turn the goddamn phone sideways.
No, you're gonna have to talk to Chappie. I knew you would say that, and I was thinking that, like, you would have to move the camera back and forth if you did fucking get it. But that day was so goddamn hectic. Like, there was no way I could have, like, tried to facilitate somebody recording me.
Yeah. So I'm playing it right now.
Just out of the blue, like, you get your name called. But I was gonna say, if you want to, you can leave the audio on. Like, I don't care if people know my name.
You don't?
There's just no, but just at the very end, we'll just cut off because it says what?
It says what at the very end?
My last name.
Okay. When
Let's go.
When are you up?
Nice.
Or is this
I'm going right now.
Are you? Okay.
Come on, guard.
So I'm watching on it. How about can you share it with me so I don't have to watch it on a relay and I can kind of tell you what's happening?
I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. Share my screen.
And it's all good because when you got two people wearing black rash guards, then, and especially with jiu-jitsu, it's hard. If you don't know what it is, it's just like, what the fuck are they even doing?
All right, I shared the screen. Tell me when you're ready.
Okay.
All right, you ready? All right, we're going to hit play.
Come on.
So you're both wearing black? Do you have which one are you?
There it is. Come on, keep going.
Just go back to the beginning, if you don't mind.
I do mind. Hold on, let me see.
Because I don't know where we're at.
Oh, wait, I see which one you are. You got shorts on. Drunk Uncle's the one on the left, guys.
Let's go, Josh.
Or the one closer to us.
Okay, so stop.
Hammer time.
Stop. Okay.
I did.
So keep in mind that when the referee, the guy on the far right, if he raises his left hand, that means I get points.
Okay.
If he raises his right hand, he gets points.
Well, if she had turned the camera the right way, I could see the judge better. I know, I'll shut the fuck up.
But you get a different amount of points for different things. So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Because I play a very defensive game. It's a I figured out it's a very damn dangerous game.
Hey,
all right.
I got a quick question. I sent you a fucking GoPro camera. How come you're not using the GoPro camera to film this?
I haven't got the little SD card. The one that I bought for the big camera was the big one.
All right. Are we ready for play or no?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me when to stop again.
All right.
Let's go. Move.
Oh, you had his knee up for a minute.
Come on, Josh. Come on, breathe.
I shouldn't have done that.
Breathe.
Okay, you mean you shouldn't have done what? You have your hand on top of his neck right now. It looks like.
No, he's got me in a guillotine right now.
Oh, that's right. I mixed you guys up. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the guy is much darker than I am. But
is he? Well, he's wearing black pants. I mean, never mind. You're both all in black.
Come on.
Yeah.
Let's go. Nice.
I just kept him from taking my back.
Come on. Higher. Let his arm go, grab.
He's trying to pick you up, or what is he trying to do to you right there? Oh, you had his hands.
Yeah, he wants to get away right now. He wants to get away, and I'm trying to keep him close to me. See how he's trying to get away?
Come on, you're playing. Let's go. Nice.
See that there I'm playing?
Nice.
I'm fucking with him a little bit.
I got you.
But I'm not paying attention to that guy's arm going up. That guy's arms went up like 4 times on my opponent's side. So like I'm down like 7-0 right now probably. I don't have any points.
He just got another point.
I think things are about to change pretty soon. I'll let you know when my mind switches. And I timed it. It's literally 1 minute before before the round's over.
Yeah. I can't wait till I move there so I can film you. Go right. Never mind. I'll shut up.
So I keep pulling him back in. He's trying to get away, but I keep, as long as I get my legs around him, that's all that matters. I think
it looks like you're making him work harder. It looks like than what you're doing.
Oh yeah, I'm pulling him down close to me. He's like trying to get away from me, and I'm just holding on. He's gonna make a mistake very, very, very soon.
Oh, he got off of you. He went to the side of you.
Yep, he's going for a triangle choke.
Oh, now you're pushing him away.
Come on.
Yeah.
Let's go. Nice. Nice, Josh. That's right. That's right.
She's not a very good cheerleader, is she? She should be screaming it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's see. So I'm like, I haven't scored any points right now. Probably right here is where everything changes.
Now, can you kick him when you're in that spot when he's right there with holding your feet?
I'm just keeping him away. I'm not kicking him.
But could you kick him?
Yeah, I'll just grab his leg and see how I just move my hips.
Yeah.
Now, comfy. Now watch me work. Now I'll take you
there's
down.
A point. Point for you again. That's 2.
Now I'm in side control. Now I'm in full mount.
Point for you again.
Come on. Come on.
Point for you again.
Arm triangle.
Point for you again. Point for you again. I don't understand how you're getting points, but you're getting points.
Slide over. Need a belly. Come on. Nice.
Have you watched this yet, or is this your first time?
I always do everything first time with the fans, or I mean with the with the people from the show.
So we think the match is over right now.
Yeah, that's what it looks like because you guys are both hugging and stuff.
Yeah, look at, I'm pointing to the scoreboard because we're tied. We have the same amount of points.
Okay.
I came back and got 8 points in 1 minute.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know how to work.
You're tired. You can tell. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm fucking old.
You look great, Josh.
Sagittarius wants to know how different it would be if that was a street fight.
I don't know. I'm not used to strikes.
Are you wearing socks? Are you wearing socks?
No, I'm just that white.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure. I was like, isn't that slippery to wear socks?
Let's go, buddy.
Okay, this is the second part. I guess go ahead and mute it so I don't forget.
Oh, are they gonna say your name real soon?
Well, I just don't want to forget.
Yeah.
It's in this, but I'll walk you through.
Point for you. Point for you. How are you getting points when he's on top of you?
Probably because he tried to pass guard and I stopped him. He tried to move and I kept him from moving. But I'm about to get caught in a triangle very, very soon.
Right now, he just did it
there's
right there.
a arm bar. Yeah. Now I'm in a triangle right now. Like all
Point
the fucking blood and the cut off to my head, but I've got my arm. I got my hand in between, so I'm able to. Takes me a while, but I slide out, and so I get points. I should get points for that, for a submission escape. Takes me a bit. That's why I felt woozy for the rest of the day. You try having oxygen cut off to your head for almost damn 20 seconds. See how you feel.
Yeah, I don't know what I feel like.
Let's see. I got him in half guard now.
Got a point. Oh no, that's a different person. Never mind. I'm looking at the other. They're wearing the same shirt. I looked at the wrong judge there.
Yeah. But I think from here I'm doing an Ezekiel. You can't see it, but the guy was about to go to sleep. Really? He was about to go to sleep.
Now, who was bigger? Was he bigger or were you bigger? Like, were you in the same weight class or what?
Yeah, we were in the same weight class, and he was about...
Point for you?
8 to 10 years younger than me.
Okay. He just told you guys, point for you? Or no, he just said you won? Is that what happened?
No, that was the end of the round. But I had him in an Ezekiel.
Oh, he just gave you a point then.
All right, so when I watch this, look how confused people are. Like, I don't even know what's going on. I'm just like, hey, man, look at it. Like, you won. And then all of a sudden, they changed the points.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't hear it, but that's what they're talking about. They're changing the points. All right, you can put the sound on now if you want.
How is that?
Aren't they going to say your name right here?
No.
I wish I had a stand so I could just set this up and I could just explain it with you. Yes, sir!
Congratulations, drunk. You won.
Yes, sir!
Yeah.
Nice.
It was because of that Ezekiel at the end.
Ah, they didn't catch the Ezekiel at the ending, huh? Right on.
Well, that's because I was facing away, but think about it like how you cross your arms. You know how you cross your arms like that?
Yeah.
Just imagine somebody's neck is in the middle of that.
Ah, not fun at all.
Yeah, that's an Ezekiel. So when I was laying on top of him, and it just looked like I was like hugging him.
Yeah.
No, his neck was in between there.
Oh wow, that's not fun at all.
Yeah, he was about to go to sleep. He was about to go to sleep.
Really?
I know he was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, everybody congratulate Drunk. He fucking won one of his matches on Saturday. How'd you do for the rest of them?
Huh?
How'd you do on the rest of them?
Lost. Got my ass whipped.
But this was your first time ever going to a competition, so I think you did damn good, my friend. Damn good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was questioning a lot of things about my progress and everything, and it wasn't until last night that I noticed the points. Like, when I go to jiu-jitsu, there is no points. You get put, you tap or you get tapped. There is no getting points.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying submission. And so I had no idea about any of that. So I had no idea that I was down 8-0 with 1 minute left.
Yeah.
And somehow came back and got eight points.
Right on. Well, congratulations, man. Congratulations. Hell yeah.
The picture, like you can see my if you
I
can.
don't have it
So they better quality.
Hold on.
And they can see the medical and my professor,
Okay,
because you gotta give props to the professor.
Hold on a second. It's not even. I don't have it set up for that.
No, it's all good. You don't have to worry about it.
Let me see if I can put them up here. Hold on. Let me see if this will work. What is that going to be called? What are you going to be called? It's going to be called photo, I guess. Trying to find it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it.
It would be I thought you just switch it over on your.
No, it's not like that at all. It's not like that at all. No, that's not it. And sometimes when you open it up, it takes a minute for it to come up. Let me try. Not that. Let me try this. Yeah, I can't, hold on. We'll just have to go. I'm just gonna have to do it like this. Hold on. Here we go. I'm just gonna show him from my phone when he sent it to me. And then I'll get it up on, we'll figure out a way to get it up on so everybody can see it. See, what is that? That's you up there. The NAGA. I wonder how many people get mad at that. So the guy in green, who is this?
That's my professor. He's one NAGA, like probably.
I thought he was black.
Huh?
I thought the professor was black.
My coach is Puerto Rican.
Oh, I don't know. I thought your professor was black.
No, professor's Irish.
Okay. Right on. Well, there you go. Congratulations, Trunk. Congratulations. All right, now we got to get to the stuff that everybody came for. Where am I? All right, here we go. So, Zeldin supporter attacked and choked at a Hot Chew event speaks out. So Hot Chew or whatever, she's the Democrat running for governor of New York. And it says Angelica Torres says she was only trying to exercise her First Amendment right, then she was choked and attacked. The supporter for GOP gubernatorial candidate Representative Lee Zeldin, seen on video, allegedly being attacked and choked at a New York City event. Let's see if they show the video. And look, she's a white Democrat is beating up a black Republican. Let me see if I can find the video of it. I thought I just saw a picture of her. But this is her right here. She's black. She's a black woman. She's a black woman getting beat up by a Democrat liberal person. But yet they call us the racist, Drunk.
Very progressive.
Yeah, he's very progressive, isn't he? And it's a guy.
Yeah.
And it's a guy. Yeah. What the fuck is that all about? You never hit a woman. You never, ever, 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 ever hit a woman. Ever.
Hey, when progressive, sometimes those lines got to blur, I guess.
Yeah. So, Stephen Atkins says, use this as a learning lesson to help you improve for next time. Sneaky Pete says, yeah, congratulations. And Andy says that guy didn't even get arrested. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, I definitely. I mean, I could have went to class today, but I'm still hurting. But that Ezekiel I'd never used before. I think there was something else that I'd done later on that day that I'd learned the day before, and something else that I'd learned an hour before.
Right on. Well, you did good. All right.
Yeah, so I got to go and I'm going to learn some escape.
Shut up, Brownie. I'm trying to see how you say this name. Simrise, I'm guessing, chemical plant in Georgia, rocked by multiple explosions, fire, and police. Hey, Sneaky Pete, did you hear any explosions over there? Brunswick, Georgia. I wonder how far. Oh, southeastern. I don't know how close that is to you. So let's look at this. Neighborhoods in southeastern Georgia were ordered to evacuate Monday as multiple explosions at a chemical plant on Colonel's Island have led to a fire, police say. The blaze is impacting Simrise chemical plant outside of Brunswick, according to the Glenn County Sheriff's Office. Holy shit, look at that. Now, you know what people are going to say? All the Democrats are saying, see, this is why we need to do shit in China, because this shit is bad. Actually, this is exactly why you don't want to do this in China. This was maybe a mistake. Maybe maybe they're a bad company. I don't know. But I got to say this. If this was in China, it probably would have been a lot worse. They don't have the regulations that we have here. Everybody says, why does everything from America cost so much? Well, because you're fucking...
why that around? You don't get China credit?
Because you're fucking... Because your people that are in office put too many regulations on these assholes.
No, you shut your mouth.
Man, I don't have the Donald Trump don't trust China. China is asshole. Sneaky Pete says, we had a big power surge here today and you heard a big boom. I thought it was a transformer. Nope, that was the chemical plant there. Wow. It creates inspiring fragrance, flavor, natural nutrition, and cosmetic ingredients. Interesting. Very, very interesting. But yeah, folks, for the most part, this probably was a mistake. Red says the Republican administration's lowered tariffs. I don't know. It depends on where you're at. And I know Trump raised tariffs. So that's why I want Trump back in office. One of the many, 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 many reasons. I'm going to go through the news fast, guys, because we are way late doing the... Okay, the Republican administration shut down 8 refineries. I'd like to see where that happened, Redwater. I'd like to see that. Man knocks himself out trying to flee store with luxury stolen goods. So this is going to be the idiot of the week, I guess. Let's see, what... So I'm guessing it's going to be this guy in the orange and blue. What does he do? What does he do? How does he knock himself out? How does he knock himself out? Oh my gosh. Oh, it's right there. Alright. Every time I hit pause, you can't see it, guys. But if you look in... he runs into the window, basically. But how do you say that's the Republicans? You got Democrats in Texas, too. And how do you know that wasn't a Democratic, something else? Like I don't know, Redwater. I'm going to have to talk to my buddy Jesse. He actually works in the oil fields in Texas. We're not going to talk about the dumbass right there running into a window, but I just wanted to show you the thing.
Attacks don't have to be political. They can be for a lot of things.
The biggest one is shutting down soon. Refining will be done in India.
Right, let's go to Johnny from Sunbury. Johnny,
what about that big... Yeah. So when you're... last time I drove from Dallas, I had to go see a friend in... oh my goodness. Where is Selena from? Why can't I think of the name of it? She lives in Robstown, which is right by the coast. And there was a big old refinery on the way down there. I don't know. I never heard about that before, Redwater, but I'd be interested to if you can show me a link or something, I'd love to read it. All right, so me and Drunk will like this one. These 5 states could legalize marijuana with a midterm ballot initiative. Weed should be legal. Okay, voters and if you're gonna bring me something, then I'd love for you to. I'm doing the news right now, but I got a lot of articles I gotta read. So if you wanna shoot it to me, I'll happy to read it on air. But I just can't. I don't have time to look up news for you right now, big guy. Or girl, whatever you are. So voters in 5 states could legalize recreational marijuana through ballot measures Tuesday. as more parts of the country allow access to drugs. So Maryland, North Dakota, South Dakota, Missouri, and Arkansas all have legal pot referendums.
North Dakota, South Dakota, East Dakota, West Dakota.
I was hoping when I saw North in there was going to be freaking North Carolina, but I guess not.
I'm totally okay with that. Because honestly, if they legalize marijuana in my state, I hear that the ABC stores are going to take control of it, and I won't be able to profit off of it.
I gotcha. All right, so this song's going to piss off a lot of parents, and I'm not a parent, and it makes me upset. A New York parent says that the teacher's optional assignment focused on white fragility and told students that they're racist. Parents accused the high school in Westchester County, New York, of calling students racist with an optional assignment focusing on tense topics like white fragility. Whatever that means. Students in a 10th grade English class at Summers High School texted pictures of the controversial journal prompts to their parents, showcasing the handout's contents. Most of them weren't questions, they were statements. You are a racist. Wow. What would, if you had a kid and they came home and their teacher sent them a letter saying they're racist, what would you say? Would you be pissed?
I said, "What, boy? What'd you say to them?"
Right.
That should be your answer.
All right, so I got a story for you guys. I had I was in band. I was the lead drummer in marching band. I couldn't read music, but I could play the fuck out of some drums. So I was the head drummer. I played the quads, right? And my teacher hated me, and I hated him. So one day I show up at home, and there's my music teacher sitting in a chair in my house. And I'm like, oh, this will be good. And so the teacher was like, he probably weighed like 250 pounds. He was a big guy. And he's like, well, Eddie leaves me Twinkies Light all the time on my desk, and Eddie likes to fuck with me, and Eddie does this, and Eddie does that. And my mom looked at him dead in the face. She's like, who the fuck is the adult here? And the teacher was like, well, I am. And my mom says, so slap the shit out of him. The teacher's like, you can't hit a kid. And my mom was like, I'll knock the fuck out of him. But since you're coming here like a little bitch and complaining to me instead of handling my kid, it makes me think I shouldn't trust your school. That's what my mom told him.
You're like, you can't hit a kid. She's like, watch me. Eddie, get over here, you motherfucker. Smack. Look, I just did it.
Why should I learn to read music? I don't got to learn to read music. It looks like we got a troll. A troll waited to 10 minutes to sign up. So I was watching a show, and it says that maybe it's a good thing for kids to go to schools and let their teachers teach them something that they wouldn't learn at home. They're trying to use the thing of like, well, you should go out with this person and try squid or try octopus, because you never know, you might like it. So they're using that theory to say that maybe we should teach our kids, or let the teachers teach our kids stuff that they wouldn't learn at home. I don't have kids, so I can't really say. But certain things I don't agree with. Like I can see, trying different foods, right? But trying to teach my kid about or calling them racist, no effing way. No way. No freaking way. Let's see. You tried octopus once, Andy? Then nope, no octopus here. Have you ever tried octopus, Drunk?
I think so. Don't they put calamari is not octopus, I don't think.
No, calamari is not octopus.
But that's a squid that they put on top sometimes. You ever had fried calamari? And then they put that.
I tried it once, I didn't like it.
The fried piece on top. It looked like an octopus, but I think it's like a squid.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't eat either.
I'm allergic to seafood.
I barely like calamari.
Oh, no, thank you. All right, so look at this. Drone footage shows streams of migrants crossing the border into Texas with no resistance. No resistance. Let's see, shocking drone footage. So migrants streaming across the border. So let's watch the video. Where is the video? I thought they had the video. They tell you about a video and then they don't fucking show you the video. Well, here you can see the pictures at least. Look at these people. So Normandy, Texas. These are people crossing the Rio Grande. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. There's like 22 just on the land part. And it extends out farther and farther and farther. Just disgusting. You know, come here the right way. Hey, I've been there. There's footage of me being there with Ben Berkwam. He drugged me there. But, you know, my mom, it took her 7 years to get her green card. 7 years. If she was alive today, she would be so pissed off. She hated it. Like, if you came to my house, my mom's from Holland, and you wanted to speak Dutch to her here in the United States, she would tell them, you're in the United States. Speak English. My mom loved the United States. She was a proud American. She was a Ronald Reagan American. Oh, did you hear? Kathy Griffin got suspended from Twitter for mocking Elon Musk. What did she say? He said, going forward, any Twitter handles engaging in impersonation without clearly specifying parody will be permanently suspended. What did she say?
She turned her handle as if she were Elon Musk with the blue check.
Really? A guy impersonating Keanu Reeves who did the troll in Musk's new policy. Let's see. Yes, they're not going to show what she did. Fuck her. Kathy Griffin, bitch. Fuck Kathy Griffin. Hey, while we're on the topic of social media, guys and girls, you know, we're mostly older cats here. You know, and we're mostly Facebook users compared to Twitter and everything else. Just so you know how, you add somebody on fucking Facebook and like 2 seconds later it goes ding, and you're like, fuck. And they're like, hi, how are you doing? You know? And you fucking accepted a troll. Well, they're no longer doing that anymore. They found out a new way. So, like, I posted a picture of my truck the other day, or I wrote something, and all of a sudden I get like 20 messages that say, hi, I really like your pictures. I would really like to be friends with you. I think we could be good friends. Add me as a friend. So just so you know, guys, don't fall for that trick. I know, there's a lot of us guys on here, like, I'm not good looking. And you see if it's a hot girl that's saying this to you, for sure, it's a fake. But they're not even doing hot girls anymore, drunk. Now they're doing just anybody. They're just doing anybody. It's a joke. Facebook is a joke. And the only reason I keep it is so I can keep track, or not keep track, but keep up with my family in Holland. Let's see, a Republican, so this is from Yahoo Finance, guys. Yahoo, liberal Yahoo. A Republican Congress would not reduce inflation. And by the way, if you're a writer and you're using wouldn't, yeah, you don't do that. It would be a disaster for most Americans. A disaster for most Americans. And people are reading this and they believe it just because it's Yahoo. They must know what they're talking about. No, the fuck they don't. Oh, and it's been written in Berkeley, California. What the hell does that tell you? Uh-oh, Hope's here. We're in trouble. It says inflation now tops the list of concerns for many voters. Yeah, thanks to Joe Biden. Thank you, Joe Biden. Only Mr. Bill says I auto-block him. We got to have you on the show with us one day, Mr. Bill. It says, but if they use this week's midterm election to protest inflation, they could tip control of the Congress to the Republican Party, which would be a good thing. With disastrous consequences for their own living standards in American democracy. Oh, do you mean that because you're not going to get free school anymore, and you're not going to get free food and free health care for all? What are they saying? Whatever happens with inflation, it will have little to do with the Congress. What matters is the Federal Reserve's monetary policy and global developments, such as the war in Ukraine, the one that Joe Biden is handling, The effect that commodity prices and supply chains, caused by your pandemic? Gasoline prices may be a major source. Oh, you mean because Joe Biden went and is making it so hard for people to drill that even when they get permits, they're afraid to drill? Yeah. Liberal news, it's an opinion. I'm sorry. This is just an opinion. But see, how many people drunk... Like, I just made that mistake. I looked at it. I didn't read opinion. How many people do you think read that and say, oh, it's just his opinion or her opinion?
To be honest with you, I don't think I knew what an op-ed was until maybe about 2 years ago.
So you think most people don't know what opinions are? Because they read, it's a newspaper. It's got to be real, right?
I am from a small town in the South, so I can probably say that for most of the people that live around me.
I get you.
That we don't, an op-ed, especially when you shorten like shit like that, like op-ed. Like, we're just like reading an op-ed, like, whatever.
It's an education opportunity.
Right.
It's an education opportunity. It's an education opportunity, drunk. That's what it is.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? If it says op-ed, like, if you don't already know what op-ed means, then you might take it seriously.
We can't read this one. We can't read this one. I got to sign in. I'm not going to sign in to read something. But they're trying to say why some people think fascism is the greatest expression of democracy ever invented. Do you mean the liberals? Eddie, on Twitter, they need to suspend Biden for pretending to be president. Oh, that is the, oh my gosh, that is the reply of the day review. Oh, I love it. Look at this. They say why some people think fascist is the greatest expression of democracy ever invented. They're showing a person with the Trump flag, and they're showing the news from January 6th. Oh my freaking God. But it's an opinion again. All right, let's see. There was last piece of news. This is it, I think. So Netflix. I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Netflix." And who can you? If you stop watching everybody just because they're liberals, number one, that's not American, right? And number two, you wouldn't have anything to watch. But get this: Netflix CEO or co-CEO, Ted Sarandos makes his choice in Los Angeles mayoral race. A message signed by Netflix co-CEO that appeared as an advertisement on the Hollywood Reporter's website ahead of Tuesday's election expressed support for Los Angeles mayoral candidate Rick Caruso, who is a Republican, if I remember right. Wait a minute. Am I reading this wrong? Rick Caruso. Oh, he's a Democrat. Never mind. I'll shut the fuck up. I was wrong. Never mind. I'll shut up. I was wrong. I made a mistake, guys. But still, I mean, you know what? If everybody says, you know what, hey, why are you watching that show, Eddie? They're a bunch of fucking liberals. You can't do that, right? What's great about America? What's great about America is that we all can have our own opinions. Now, I used to watch Grey's Anatomy all the time, right? It's a liberal show put on by liberal people. However, I still watched it. But then, all of a sudden, they started saying, oh, it's the people that don't get vaccinated that are, the whole show turned into episodes of just people dying because people didn't want to get the vaccine. And that's when I'm like, I'm done watching this shit.
That's me with Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I used to be a huge fan then. I was like, oh, too much.
Like I know Gabriel Iglesias. I think he's a big freaking liberal, right? And he was doing his show. He had a new show out with Dodger Stadium, and I'm watching it. And he's doing all this joke, and after these jokes, they're funny. Then he did 2 or 3, against, MAGA jokes, making fun of MAGA people. And I'm like, all right, okay, he had his jokes, now move on. But he didn't move on, and he kept doing it, so I stopped watching it. Had he only made 2 or 3 jokes about it, I would have kept on watching it. I used to go watch this show all the time that had Kevin Smith in there, you know. Kevin Smith is the guy that did Clerks. I've met him a couple times. We've taken pictures together. He mentioned me on his show one time. And then all of a sudden it was all hating on Trump. And for the first 2 or 3 shows, I went along with it. But then, you know, I didn't anymore. So you can't just stop watching somebody because they're liberal. Because you know what? It's America. Everybody has their right to be whoever they are. But when they start pushing their agenda on their shows more than anything, that's when you got to stop. And I do. Like there's a show that I was watching right now, like today, and it's they have 100 people from 20 to 60, males and females, and they're trying to, you know, pick, you know, like they did at this. One of them was on who takes longer to get ready, men or women, you know. And it was all good, you know. It was something interesting, you know. I wanted to learn about, you know, how people think. And then all of a sudden they kept pushing, you know, talking shit about the president and talking, you know, not Joe Biden because it's from 2020. They're talking shit about President Trump. And I just finally, you know, had to stop watching it. I'll watch liberal shit just until they become jerks about it, you know.
If they like to keep it even, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be able to in the game of comedy. Got to be able to take some hits. That's why I like Dave Chappelle. Like he just fucks with everybody. That's why he's the GOAT.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or like so Blue Buds. It's a comedy. It's a drama on CBS, right? All these other shows when you know, during the mask mandates and stuff, they are all wearing masks on the show and stuff like that, doing the show with masks. Not this show. I have not seen one episode where they're wearing masks on screen. I love it because we don't watch TV to watch about freaking people wearing masks. We watch people to get away from our life, right? Isn't that why you watch TV? If you do, because you don't watch TV, but when you do, isn't that why you watch it drunk? To get out.
Well, you don't want to think it's like actual real life, especially the shows like Law and Order, SVU. You don't want to think that that's happening all the time, like those types of shows. So it's like a detachment. And so when like current news is like influencing, like yeah, just like you don't watch a baseball game to see like a political statement. You
exactly.
know? I came here to watch sports. I came here to be entertained, not to hear your political shit.
Yeah, and same thing with TV. And it's like I started watching the show Roswell, New Mexico lately because, you know, I've been going on the kick about aliens and stuff like that. And they're showing it, you know, and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, and this fucking racist president that's, you know, kicking out all the illegals, you know, because we're just trying to come here for a better life. It's like, yeah, but do it the right way. Just do it. That's all we ask. We're not racist. We just want you to do it the right way. Like my mother did. The way I feel about it is this. My mom took 7 years and worked her ass off doing it the right way to become an American citizen. If you just crossed the border, you just jumped in front of her. That's like you're sitting at Drunk Uncle Likes Bojangles. He's sitting there at Bojangles waiting in line to get chicken, and some chick walks right in front of him and just orders her food. Aren't you going to say shit?
Are you buying, bitch?
Right? Like, bitch, you can get to the back of the fucking line.
I'll let you jump in front of me if you buying. What's up? I want an 8-piece.
Oh, heck, if somebody did that to me, I'd buy a whole bunch more. You know, that makes me think. So, I had a buddy when I was in high school. Freaking, his name was, you know, I hung out with a lot of gang members. His name was Beaver. And I remember we're at Burger King one day, and I don't eat Burger King anymore after their double bun thing. But, or double bottom, whatever. But, we're at Burger King, and he's like, yo, Eddie, can you get me a burger? I'm kind of low on cash. So I buy him a burger, and then I turn around, and this motherfucker's got a wad like this big in his pocket. And I was like, really, Beaver? He's like, well, you bought me one, didn't you? So I gotta save money somehow. I don't know. Bad story. This Poppy T seed is really clicking in. Hope in their Chick-fil-A. Hope likes Chick-fil-A so much. I never go there. I can't stand the lines. I see a long line, and I'm just like, nope.
Yeah, but supposedly the Chick-fil-A, even though you go to Chick-fil-A and you see that line like wrapped around, supposedly it moves pretty quick because they got like four, 5, 6 people out there taking orders. Like you got people at the big menus, but you also got like people just standing around that'll take your order.
I gotcha.
So it moves real quick.
You know what's the
Chick-fil-A
worst?
is pretty efficient from what I hear.
I see. Well, though, like freaking McDonald's. I don't go to McDonald's anymore, but they got these 2 drive-thrus. You pull, you know, what happens is you got one lane, you're pulling in one lane, and then it spreads out. And you don't know which lane's going to go faster, right? And I have the worst luck of all. Every time I go to Costco, I'll go to the shortest fucking line, and it takes the longest. So, you know, when I used to go to McDonald's, I pull, you know, the double lane, you got to pull, it's one lane first, so you pull in the one lane, and I'd sit there, and people would be honking their fucking horn, because I don't know who's going to go first, right? And I'd wait before I split. But then you're sitting there, and you're ordering your food, and they're like, hello, welcome to McDonald's. You know, they're saying their long speech, and I'm like, real quick, just yelling, I want a number 5 with Coke, blah, 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 you know, trying to get through there. And then you're like racing the person next to you. You're like, who's going to go first, you know? It's a fucking bitch. It's like, it's that double lane is, because it goes single lane, 2 lanes, back to single lane. You know what that does? That just causes road rage. I get road rage.
I'm going to get my cheeseburger 2 minutes later than you. I got to get in front of you.
Right? Hey. But you know, Wendy's, I love Wendy's. I think they cook it the fastest. And I think Carl's Jr. is the fucking slowest. And Carl's Jr. is so expensive nowadays. Holy shit. Once, like I went like 2 years ago and got a Western bacon cheeseburger combo, and it was like $20, and I'm just like, for a fucking drive-through meal? What the fuck? Excuse my language. Jeez Louise. If you each just take turns, it works. It doesn't work though, Andy, because you get that one. You ever get in back of somebody, and it takes them 20 minutes to order their fucking meal? It's like, who shows up to the drive-thru and they're like, let me see what I want to get. My ex-wife used to be like that. We show up to the drive-thru, and then I was like, what do you want? She's like, let me look. And then she'd be like, all right, I want a number 4. And I'm like, all right, she wants a number 4. What kind of soda you want, babe? And she's like, I don't want a soda. I'm like, well, you ordered a number 4. She's like, well, I want the burger number 4, not the number 4 combo. Then say the name of the burger. I don't know. I just hate that.
Dummy.
I just hate that. She would do that to me every fucking time, right? And then the one time I get it right, I think, and I'm like, number 4, okay, she wants the double quarter pounder with cheese only. And she's like, no, I want fries and a drink. I'm like, fucking bitch. I'm glad I'm not married anymore. I'm loving the single life. On Donnie. Huh, Monster? He's like, yeah, look. Anyways, guys. It never happens to you, Andy? Well, I live in California. It's road rage city here. We always have road rage. Anyways, dude, this tea is kicking my ass right now. The pain is gone, and I'm ready to go take a nap. So, and I know drunk is sore. But yeah, dude. Yes. So tomorrow, don't forget to vote. These are the seeds, though. It's just poppy tea seeds and poppy seeds. You stick them. You got to put lemon juice, and then you fill it up. You shake it for 20 minutes, and then you got to strain out the poppy seeds. And it tastes awful. I mean, it's real lemony if you put enough lemon in there. So what I did is I bought this Kool-Aid little stuff, and you just makes it taste all better. But anyways, guys, thank you for being here. Tomorrow, get out and vote. Vote, vote, vote. What's up, Eric? Drunk Uncle, you got anything to say?
Get out and vote.
There we go. You got anything else you want to say?
Bye.
Oh, real quick. What is his name? My brain's freezing right now. I got a message from him the other day. He said, Eddie, I'm driving through Madeira. We gotta get some donations to buy you a hotel and drink so you can go stay the night so you can go to see Titty 1 and Titty 2 at everybody's favorite Mexican bar. So we might do that one of these days. We might go back there. But this weekend I'm going to Las Vegas with Andy from Colorado, Portland Andy, Matt Rogers, and a whole bunch of other people. Well, and of course Donald J. Trump. So if you want to see some hot women, we're going to be taking Donald J. Trump on the Strip. And we're going to... Actually, my buddy said it's better to go to Fremont Street. So we might go to Fremont Street instead. I don't know. Well, we'll be all over. And I'm going to get Andy in Colorado to buy me a big-ass steak. Let's see if I can talk him into it. Nah, just kidding. All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll do a stream. Well, Crowder's doing a stream too, huh? I don't know. We'll do a stream tomorrow. We'll do an election stream. We'll kind of watch the results. All right, guys.